Okay, howdy folks, it's Lisa Quilting in the Valley again. I've got another little thing that I've actually lost. Oh, I would show you what it's going to be, but I don't know where I put it. So whatever, we're just going to make it. So this is going to be a little fold-up wallet. And our little fold-up wallet is going to have a snap on it. And this is your template for it. So you're 10 inches wide. And then you're going to go up 8 inches. It's actually a 10-inch square. So you make a 10-inch square. And then you're going to cut down 2 inches and 3 3/8 inches. So take that corner out and then take the same corner out over here. And then you'll be left with a rectangle at the top and just angle your top. Should be about 2 inches from here to here, because obviously it's 8 inches from here to here. So cut your template, and then you're going to cut 3 pieces of fabric. You're going to cut, I'm using Decor Bond. So this is Decor Bond, which is a very firm, and it's single-sided fusible. And then I have my outside fabric and my inside fabric. I have it all layered up, and I have my fabric right sides together. I've already fused my Decor Bond to my top fabric, okay? Because it's a little complicated to make sure you're at your 1/4 inch going around this top part, I have actually marked where I'm gonna stop needle down before I pivot to go around this. So I'm gonna sew all the way around this, and I'm gonna leave a turning space open at the bottom. I'm a 1/4 inch seam, and I'm gonna back stitch just to make it easy for me to turn it. This will not turn out correct if all of your pieces are not square. So make sure all of your pieces are the exact same shape and size before you start. Okay, I'm coming to that first mark where I marked where my pivot point is. And now I can pivot, and I know I'm on my spot. There's my second one. And now I can pivot. And pivot. And pivot. That just makes that a little easier. And pivot. Okay. And then I'll just finish sewing around. The reason you only have one camera angle this time around is because I'm filming myself, so trying to get one more done before we take off for our England trip. Those of you watching these videos, if you do not know yet, Quilting in the Valley does travel. So we do domestic travel, we do international travel, 3 trips a year. So you can check it out on our website, quiltinginthevalley.com. But we're about to leave Monday for our England, Wales, and Ireland tour, which will be fun. Anyway, so I am now trimming because I'm going to turn this. So I'm trimming all these corners. I'm cutting in here, and I'm going to chop these outside corners off so I have a nice turn. In at the corner, and then get all that extra fabric so I can get my corners turned. I'm going to use my Alex Anderson 4-in-1 tool, which has my turning point on it, to turn all of this. So now that I've got it sewn, time to turn it. And I'll pop my corners out with that tool. That's in there thick. I could have left a slightly larger hole. I did on the last one, and it was a little bit difficult to get the bottom edge straight. I left the hole smaller this time in the hopes that it'll be easier to get the bottom seam line straight. Okay, popping out those corners. I want them to be nice and crisp, or this will turn out not nice. Get in there. There we go. And then because I trimmed, you see I'll get a nice crisp corner, inside corner there. And now I'll get my top edge and my other side. All right, so I've got this turned. I'm gonna go press this and get that last corner done. There we go. So I have this. Now, oops, that's not turned out. Let's get it all the way out. That'll make a difference. Okay, I'm gonna go press this and I'll be right back. All right, so I have this piece is pressed flat now, and I've turned under my seam down here so that when I go to top stitch, which is the step I'm going to do right now, I will top stitch 1/8 of an inch around the entire piece, and that'll close that open seam allowance down there. I'll be done with that. Just gives you a nice crisp edge. Man, I love the hover feature on this machine. If you haven't tried a Bernina with the hover feature, you're missing. I'm telling you. Life-changing. And Lori does not like her hover feature. She uses the knee lift from ages ago. But I learned to sew on a really old-fashioned Singer in a cabinet, and it had a foot pedal, but it was attached in the cabinet and you used your knee to start and stop. So I just can't get used to using the knee lift. Okay, so I'm gonna trim all my little extra threads here. My start and finish. Let's see, I got a ravelin sticking out there. Get rid of that. Okay, so now I have this piece right here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold this in to meet right here. And I'm going to crease that. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing. Fold that in to meet and crease that. Then I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm going to line up those creases. It is very important that this is level. Make sure this is level. And this as well. So I'm going to take those two creases that I just made and line those up. You can pin it if you need to. And I am going to sew a straight seam with the inside facing itself. So I have my right sides on the outside, my inside facing itself. And I just sewed that intersection where these folded in. Okay? Keep trimming those threads. I'm going to trim that. And I'm going to trim that. Okay, now I'm going to open this out. Like that. So this is the seam I just stitched, this right here. I'm now opening it out and flattening everything. See how it flattens against my flap on the top. So now it's long and skinny and I have a flap on the top. And I'm now gonna take the bottom part down here and I'm gonna fold it straight up to meet the top part. I'll press that with my finger there. And you'll see that I now have these two edges are folded up together. So this is that part that we folded in and sewed are now meeting over here and they're open. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pinch this and I'm gonna sew that together. so they are together. And I'm just going right over that same seam line I had going before. Make sure you don't catch the main part in your seam. Okay, so now I have this side is sewn. Trim my threads off. Okay, and now I have the other side is in the same situation. So I have those remaining two pieces where I folded them up. And now I'm meeting those up, and I'm going to sew those together. And again, making sure that I didn't catch the other folds. Okay, so now I can trim those threads off. Oop, missed one. Okay, all right, so now I have what is in effect a little 3-fold wallet. How are we going to keep that closed? I'm going to put a snap on it right there. So I'm going to take my little ruler here and I'm going to measure. So that is 1.5 inches. So I want my snap to be 3/4 of an inch over. And I'm going to say about that far up. So I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to go measure my 3/4 of an inch and make a mark. And then I'm going to go down here and make a mark where that's connecting. Which I can kind of see. There we go. All right, that's where I'm going to put my snaps. So what kind of snaps am I going to put in? So I bought this off of Amazon. So this is a snap kit and it comes in, look at all the colors. And it comes with this tool. This tool, you can buy these tools that have different sizes here based on the size snap you're using. This came as a set, so I got all of these snaps and the tool that matches the snaps. And it's the size for these. I think it was maybe 25 bucks. So I'm gonna use purple, I think. So I need 2 of these. And I need 1 of those and, let's see, I can't get my finger in there. 1 of those. All right, so what I have here, these are the parts that connect the snaps into the fabric, and then I have my male and my female part here. There's the male part and the female part. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm going back to my Alex Anderson tool, and it's got an awl in it. I'm gonna go to that spot that I marked. Where did I mark that? Right there. And I'm gonna poke a hole through there. And then I'm going to take my snap and put it through the hole I just poked. And then one of these guys, I think I'll do this one. And then all you do is you line up the wider part in this black cup here and just squish. And so now that's attached to the top. And I go here. And I find where I put the, wow, that looks really low. Nope, that's right. Okay, find where I put that and it's right here. So again, I'm gonna poke my hole through. On this side, this one is gonna go on the inside because I need the part that's gonna connect on the outside. So I put that there. I put that there, and then I do the same thing. I will go in, put that black thing on there and just squish. And now, there it is. cute little wallet. You put all kinds of stuff in there. You could put credit cards, you could put money, you could put keys, you could put whatever you wanted in there. But that is our cute little project for today. That no, you do not have to go buy a ridiculous plastic template for $20, $30 to make this. Draw it out yourself. You can make this. And what did that take me? 10 minutes? Make them for Christmas. They're cute. Put gift cards in them for Christmas. You could put all kind of gift cards in there. All right, there's another one for you.